What is the purpose of an academy? Well, most of the answer I get when I've asked the question across a whole variety of sports is to prepare players to play for their whatever organisation's first team it is. And it's always struck me that has been a little bit of a cop-out because it's more or less implicit. Otherwise, why would the organisations have an academy in the first place? It wasn't trying to get people through the academy into their first team. But I think it's got a bigger purpose than that, and I think the clue is in the title of today's conference, which is youth development. Academies are full of young people, and it's the development of the young person as much as the young player that's really important. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they go on and play for any particular first team. So it's got a wider reach and a broader perspective, I think, than just preparing players to play in the first team. And I think it's got to be something that's really impactful, that really stands out, that's different, not just the mundane. We're going to prepare players to play in our first team, because to be honest with you, I don't find that inspirational at all. I've been quite surprised. I've been excited too by the work that some of the academies are doing. I think there is a sea change, a shift in mentality of how players should be developed, how players should be coached, etc., etc. That it should become players should be more engaged than they have been in the past. It's more question than tell, or should be more question than tell, etc. But there's still that sort of, it varies between clubs. Some clubs, the academy has a little bit of autonomy, so it can develop itself in the way it wants to. The majority seem to try and fit in with the footballing philosophy of the first team, which of course is a bit of a tricky one in football, because I think the shelf life of a manager at first team level is about a year and a half to 2 years. So if you're an under 14 player, you're asked to play one way. In 2 years' time, in under 16, there's a change of manager. Then the philosophy changes, you play another way. 2 years later, you get to under 18, and you might become a full-time pro then. And suddenly there's another manager change. You're asked to play a third way. So it seems logical that actually the academy should be teaching players, or developing and producing players who can actually embrace and play the game in any way, whatever, and actually can help lead change in the way the game's played. You know, going back to what we talked about right at the very start, youth development, which is the title of the conference. It's developing young people to be the best they can be. Well, it's actually playing a part in it, because you're only one of there's a club, there's a school, there's the parents, and there's the person himself. So the four stakeholders in this, and they've all got to be aligned to make sure that works.